Hey guys, my name's Gary. I'm trying to put a cigarette out here. I'm still on them, but Monday's my day to quit. It's Saturday, Saturday the 12th. In 3 days, I will have 6 months of continuous sobriety, days and nights. So, I'm Gary. I'm a grateful, recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I've been grieving the loss of my son for like 8.5 weeks. So I'm gonna try to make it short. It doesn't always work out that way. My cat is asleep, so that's good. And my dog is asleep right next to my cat, which is kind of cool. These two don't get along really well, but mostly because the cat. But so what I wanted to talk about today, a couple things. What am I going to do for my recovery today? So my recovery today is going to look like, I got up early this morning, and I, like I do on Saturdays and Sundays, and like today, got the dog in the truck. It's really cold here in Austin, Texas. Like the temperature dropped, I don't know, 20 degrees. It's got to be in the high 30s, low 40s right now, and that's cold for me. You people in Canada or Chicago are probably going, what a pussy, That's summertime. But it's cold for me. So I get the dog in the truck. We do, I roll the window down. He does his windsurfing. He didn't like it that well this morning. He did it for a few minutes, and he was like, roll this fucking window back up, Dad. It's too cold. Then I washed my truck, and that's like meditative for me. Working and just kind of thinking, and I thought about my son in a good way, and a lot of I lost my son 8.5 weeks ago, and I thought of him in a good way, and I thought about people in my life that are doing recovery with me, and you guys, I thought about, what am I going to talk about today? And I just want to talk about, like what I'm doing for my recovery and what I'm doing, to help me with the grief process with my son. I was kind of talking to my younger son about this, and, last night, and I didn't think that he understood kind of where I was coming from, and that's okay. I mean, that's totally okay. I mean, we don't always have to see eye to eye on things, and I try to listen to his point of view too, because just because he's 23 years old and he doesn't have my life experience, and I've got a lot of life experience, and I know he's watching me, and I'm watching him too. And my oldest son, he's really busy with his life, and probably going through his own grief process and stuff like that. I don't see him as much, but he's just had a baby, and he's with a great woman. And then I watched how they raise their kid, and it's, the baby was at my son's service on Monday, and he was just being passed around with love. I mean, that kid got so much love, and I got some pictures with him, and he was crying during the pictures and stuff. I'm about ready to cry right now myself, just thinking about it. But that stuff brings me so much joy, and the capacity of having so much grief, right? But because I'm sober, I have the capacity to have grief and love at the same time. You wouldn't think that the two could coexist with each other. I was talking to another friend of mine, and she's new to this way of life, and we do this thing like almost on a daily basis. We're going back and forth with each other in some form or another, whether it's in person, on the phone, or via text messaging. And she was talking about that, having that capacity to feel both at the same time. I don't think I was capable of that while drinking and using. I think I think it was one or the other. you know, and not even in a deep level. It was just, you know, more about consuming drugs and alcohol so I could get to that right level. And you know, it was all about me. You know, it was about me getting high, you know, shooting pool, making money, um, and you know, chasing the opposite sex, and you know, just feeding self. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I was feeding that dark hole that we're trying to always fill. Um, that alcoholics understand what I'm saying. I don't even have to go into any more depth about it. You know, we're trying to fill that large gaping hole that we have somewhere between our belly button and, you know, our neck. There's this gaping hole, and we're trying to fill it with something at all times. And I can do that in sobriety too, but I try not to. I try to be self-aware of that stuff. So today I thought, you know, about my sobriety, and I didn't get to that morning meeting online that I wanted to get to, but that's okay because I'm going to go to a 5:30 p.m. at the Pink House in Austin, Texas, called the Pink House on Bolden Avenue, and I'll be there today and probably sharing my recovery, like where I'm at, and I enjoy that meeting. I mean, every time. Okay, so the last time I was at that meeting, the other day, I was listening to people sharing. Everybody knocked it out of the fucking park, man. I mean, I was bummed when the meeting ended. You know, it's an hour long. And, you know, we just kind of go around the room, and whoever wants to share, shares. And I try to listen intently on, you know, the leader shares for 5 minutes or whatever. I try to grab something, and that leader talked about fear, and I was thinking about fear and what an impact it has, what an impact it's had on my life, and what an impact it could have on my life when I'm in it. You know, I could destroy relationships, fuck jobs up. You know, I could change the course of my life, you know, with the snap of my finger, and you know, I have my moments, you know, but I'm not living my life today that way. And when I do, when fear does impact my life, I try to clean up that mess immediately. You know, so today I'm gonna just take it easy, probably clean my apartment and stuff, and I want to go down to the police station and talk to them a little bit about the fentanyl pandemic we're having in the United States, and talk to some of these guys that work, you know, some of these beat cops and or detectives or whatever, you know, the guys that are getting dirty in the streets, working around these fucking scumbags, working around overdoses of these poor families, these poor people that overdose on this thing, like myself, you know, and, you know, people that recover bodies, like they recovered my son, and find out what's going on. You know, just gain some self-knowledge so I can, you know, spread the news a little bit, like, you know, what's going on, and you know, from an intelligent life experience. Because right now, I mean, I've got life experience now. I lost my son to a fentanyl overdose, and we don't know if it was, you know, well, we know it was accidental. You know, my son wasn't trying to, you know, kill himself, but we don't know yet if it was, you know, if he was doing straight fentanyl or if he thought he was doing something else. You know, that will come out in the toxicology reports, and those, you know, could be another couple months before we get those back. The number one cause of death in the United States right now from ages 16 to 45 is fentanyl overdose. Not cancer, you know, not HIV or AIDS, not anything else, not heart disease. it's fucking fentanyl. So I want to get more in tune with that, and so I'm doing that for myself and my recovery. And I'm gonna hit my meeting today, and I'm gonna share and get to rub elbows with my people, people that understand me, people that I could help, and people that I can get help from. There's a lot of sobriety in this room that I go to. There's there's one guy with 45 years. He's a devout atheist, and he's got a spiritual message, and what a kind man. And when he's sharing, he's got the whole room in guttural laughter. And this guy is he radiates recovery. And whether he knows it or not, he radiates spirituality and how his God is working in his life and mine. So it's a big thing, man. He's a pillar of strength for me. I don't know him that well. I try to every once in a while walk up, shake his hand, and check in with him. But I'm afraid of people, like everybody else. But it's getting better. I share almost every meeting. They're probably sick of hearing from me. This this channel that I've done on YouTube is going slow, but it's going. And I never thought that I would have. I never thought I would have any kind of viewership like this. But fuck, man. Okay, I'm gonna read this. So I started at September 27th, and this is through yesterday. So today's the 12th, but through November 11th. So that's 43 days, or who knows, right? Quick math in my head. I'm probably off a little bit, but in the 40-some days, right? 319 hours of watch time, right? And we hit 5,000 over the weekend, so over yesterday. So 5,056 views, and 320 hours of watch time. 319 and a half hours of watch time. So fuck, man, 58 subscribers. You guys subscribe, please. And please, let's do this thing together. Even if you're not alcoholic, man. Even if you're not a drug addict. We all have something to offer. It's not just about alcoholism and drug addiction. If you've got something to offer, if you can help people, fuck, man, start getting on the keyboard. I want to hear from you. The number 5, right? Day God Challenge, 5-day God Challenge at gmail.com, or just, throw it up on the comments, So I think, I'm gonna do some prayer and meditation tonight. I'm gonna clean my house, and it's a fucking shithole right now. I've been busy and going in and out of town, and a little on the depressed side too. So, when we're depressed, we don't, there's always, like, for me, I can notice if I'm depressed, like if my truck's real dirty, and my truck was dirty because I traveled in it so much, but I did a few thousand miles, but it looks like my apartment has done a few thousand miles, so I'm going to clean that today, so I feel good tonight. I am going to turn the heater on tonight because it is fucking cold, and I'm going to get a candle out and do some prayer and meditation after my meeting. I'm going to eat a good meal, do some grocery shopping, and answer emails, messages, talk to people in recovery. I owe a few people phone calls, and I look forward to all of it today, all of it. Well, not cleaning the apartment part, but I do. I'm going to look forward. I don't look forward to cleaning it, but I look forward to it's going to be clean, and it just feels differently. It just feels like just, Jordan Peterson talks about making your bed every day and keeping your room in order. And right now so like if somebody walked in, they'd say, yeah, something's wrong with this guy, right? And something is wrong. I'll never claim to be the perfect picture of mental health, okay? And so something is wrong. There is a disturbance in my life, and it was the loss of my son. So, I'm just scrambling just to get to work on most days and try not to kill anybody at work while I'm there. And, you know, I'm not looking for sympathy or a pat on the back. I'm just telling you guys where I'm at. I'm being honest with you. So there is a disturbance in my life, and there is a little bit of depression, and sadness. But I just want you to know, because of Alcoholics Anonymous, because of your guys' responses on this channel, because of I have a wonderful family. I have 2 great sons. I have a grandson. They're with 2 phenomenal women, my 2 sons. And my ex-wife, her boyfriend's a good dude, man. And I've got her parents are good people. I was shooting them messages yesterday, and my parents and my sister and my brother and my cousin, his wife. There's just I have to look at what I'm. So even though I've got disturbances in my life, I've got all this shit to be grateful for, and I am. I feel that gratitude, and there's always somebody out there. We have to always remember, you guys. I'm the type of guy that if somebody keys my brand new truck, or if I get a chip on my brand new truck or something like that, that'll fucking ruin my whole day, right? And then I'll come across somebody who just lost a loved one or something like that, and I'm thinking, a chip on your truck just took you out of your whole fucking day, and this lady or this guy, just lost a relative, or this guy, I just lost my son. And it could be worse. There is, I still find gratitude in my day. And that's the honest to God truth. And I have in each and every day. That is a testament to this program, to a God working in my life. If that doesn't tell you right there, there's not one day that's gone by, even when the night I found out about my son, my oldest son came over and told me, and I was literally, he picked me up off the floor in a puddle of snot and tears. And he was saying, Dad, you got to breathe. You got to breathe, man. I was fucking... So, that night, he called me, we went to my ex-wife's house. She lives up the street with my youngest son. And so we all just, the devastation of, we lost somebody we love so much. And so I came back to my house, and he called me and he goes, Dad, you want to come stay over here? I don't know. That wasn't a good night for me to be alone. I tell you that right now. And I ran down to my truck and got in my truck and stayed and went to his house. And I remember they put Levi they put the baby in my arms, right? Like I walk in the door and they give me the baby. And I'm thinking, how do you, I was so grateful to be holding my grandson, right? And I had just lost my son. So, I'm sorry, you guys, but this is me, man. This is who I am. And I was so grateful I slept on their couch, and I knew he was in the other room with his fiance and the baby. And I knew, we were all safe, and I was grateful. I was grateful to be on their couch and to have shared that evening with them. you know, so you can always find gratitude no matter how fucking bad you got it. And I realized there are other people that have it worse. I knew a woman she's passed away now, but when I got sober in '02, she was, this was a woman that was in my morning meeting every morning, and she lost her in all different ways. She had 3 children also, but she lost every child. And this woman, I was a lot younger back then. This was in '02, and I was sober from like '02 to 2011. And I'm so sorry, I don't know my nose and everything, you guys. But so she had lost all her kids to different ways. I'm not going to repeat, right? But and she had all these women sponsees, from younger women to, like in their 20s to, airline women that is an airline pilot. She's a friend of mine. I haven't talked to her for a long time, but she's an airline pilot, and she's probably got 30 or 40 years of sobriety now, but she got sober real young, and so this woman had lost all 3 of her kids, and she had all these. She had to sponsor, I want to say 15 to 20 women. That was what she dedicated. Those were her babies. So, and she always warned me, you stay away from my girls, because I kind of made my rounds with some of them. The woman I lost was actually sponsored by her. And we'd get in an argument, and she would be shaking her finger at me. And I loved her. She was like a mother to everybody in that room. And she's gone, and I miss her. I go off on these fucking tangents. You guys, I'm sorry. But find gratitude. I'm going to do that for my sobriety today, and I walk around with being grateful today. So remember, you guys, the 5-day God challenge. If you're having trouble with alcohol or drugs, and you don't think there's a way out, there is. And I'm not telling you how to do it or telling you must do this, but it helped me to get on my knees and pray to that God that I didn't understand, and I still am just beginning to understand the power that this great power, who I choose to call God, has in my life, my actions, my thoughts, and it has to do with prayer. I got on my knees and I prayed, God, please make me willing to be willing, and one day He did. And I'm not perfect. I don't do it every day. I should be in a fucking church with candles all around me, giving thanks to this great power. But I do live my life knowing that He's in my heart, and that I try to touch people every day. I do my best with who I am, right? Because I don't have some huge platform so I do it in my daily life. I try to do it, I try to bring AA and my God with me and the 12 steps, and try to touch people on a daily basis. And there was a lady in the, took my son, real quick, I'm going to do this. I took my son last night to help him get a new stereo in his truck, and there was a younger girl, she was 27 years old, at the stereo place. And if I knew it, I'd plug it right now, because she's, her and I talked for like an hour. And so I got to know her spirit, and she got to know mine. And, I don't know if she was in recovery or not. I knew she had seen some darkness. She let me know that the way I used to live my life, man. She goes, I've made a complete change in my life. And I said, I have too. And we connected on that, like a spiritual level. and she was a crackerjack selling stereos, man. I told her, you need to be selling cars, you know. But she was a nice person, and so I touched her spirit a little bit, and she obviously touched mine, and so that's what I want to do in life, you know. Just I want to touch people's spirits, and I want you guys to touch mine. That's what it's all about to me. That's what it's all about. So hopefully I helped somebody today, and I know you guys helped me by letting me talk and cry in front of you. Remember the 5-day God challenge. Talk to your God, you guys. Get on your knees. He has the power to get you sober. He has the power to give you strength to go to an AA or an NA meeting and raise your hand and say, hey, I'm Gary, I'm an alcoholic. And that's not an easy thing to do when you're new. It's easy now for me. And then just share, you know, cry if you need to cry. Like I just cried in front of you guys. Just be you. You know, when I turn this thing on, I'm me. And when I turn it off, I'm me. I try to be honest with you guys with my feelings. I don't edit anything. I've never edited one fucking video. The only things I do to edit is I put 60 seconds together for these new short things that I've been doing. And, you know, to try to draw people, because those get seen more and it draws people in me. And it almost feels, something about it almost feels like, I don't know, like me trying to draw viewership in, but, you know, I'm something about it feels weird, you know, like it's like I'm making it a business, but I'm not making any money off it, and I never would. I mean, if I got money from it, I would give it to the Impact Foundation or do something else with it, give it to my kids or something. But I just, because I want to keep this clean, and if I don't make money and I just share my heart and my spirit with you guys, I'm good. So it remains money free, and if you guys want to give money, give it to the Impact Foundation, la.org. There's a woman named Vicky that I went to high school with. She works 24/7, and she's puts her heart and soul into that foundation. And we're looking to get some more money so it can grow its wings and fly. I'm going to try to talk to her tomorrow and see where that's at financially. And I'm going to be in Los Angeles on November 18th at a golf tournament. There's 4 more spots. There's 4 more foursomes left. If I'll post this video today. If you guys, anybody out there wants to join this tournament, it's $150 per person or $550 for a foursome. And that would be a great thing. You know, $150, I think we get lunch, prizes, and I'm going to win all the prizes. So, but I doubt I'm going to win the prizes because I haven't swung a golf club for years, but a couple years. But it's going to be fun. So, anyways, you guys, it's 28 minutes. I can't believe I fucking rambled this long. Thank you for sharing my life and my recovery and my grief with me. I'll chat with you guys the next day or so.